CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by exceptionally smooth Michelob. Where you're going, it's Michelob. Dodge, a performance revolution, an American revolution. And by the astonishingly simple new Sony Handycam. All the excitement of video movies now in the palm of your hand.
Pat Summerall and John Madden. We're ready to start the second half at the Superdome. Morton Anderson set to kick it off. So the Giants will have to first go on offense. Adams in the middle, back deep. Flanked by Kenny Hill and Joe Morris. Bouncing to Adams at the goal line. Perhaps the 22. Brett Maxey down to make the stop. 2 or 3 people slow getting up. Here are the halftime statistics.
Well, the thing is, you see, the Giants did it in every area over the Saints. I mean, the time of possession, everything. The only thing is the score is still 7-3.
17 first downs to 4. Adams and Carthon. This is Adams with room. Adams hammers out to the 39 before safety man Frank Watlett makes the stop. Good run by Adams.
Well, he starts from the I formation. There's a little counter thing. He starts in there to the right, gets a good block by Carthon, just follows him, makes a cut off him, jumps over a guy, then he's in the open field. Now, that was a good way to follow your block. I think Adams had a little trouble earlier staying with his guards, but that time he stayed with his lead block.
He picked up 16. The Giants first and 10 in their own 39. Carpenter in the backfield now with Adams. Sims looks outside in that direction. Carpenter hooked up. Sims thought he was going to continue. They just misread each other.
Either that, I think that, Sims saw that he didn't have anything there, and once that was a smart veteran play, because once he saw that they weren't on the same page and he wasn't going to get a completion, I think he just threw it out of bounds.
Starting tight end for the Saints, Hobie Brenner, has a sprained ankle and will not play anymore today. That hurts. He's their leading receiver. Sims gets away from the sack, sets up the screen to Adams. And Adams, very close to first down yardage. Hit by Glenn Red, and hit with some authority, too.
He had a good block out there by his right guard, Chris Godfrey. That was a screen against a blitz. See if we can watch it here. Now watch the right guard, number 61. See, he fakes like he's going to block, and he goes right down the line of scrimmage. Sims gets it off. Now watch Godfrey here. He's turning up, and he's going doink right there, and then Adams can break right off that block.
Third and short. It to midfield and gets another Giant first down. That'll be 19 first downs for them.
Well, I see that Joe Morris is back in there now, so whatever he was talking to Bill Parcells about just before the half, I think they got it straightened out. One thing he doesn't have straightened out is that uniform deal there. He got half his shoulder pad hanging out.
And it's still out. He gets the carry. That surge over the left side gets him about 3 or 4. Wilkes made the stop.
Joe Morris has that quickness to get in those holes quickly, so it doesn't take a lot of blocking for him. You don't have to have those big offensive linemen that, drive and stay with their blocks. Watch him. He's going to hit the left side of the line here. Watch how quickly he gets in there. You see, he's just, boom, he's by Jim Wilkes, number 94, before he could react.
2nd and 7. Sims again to Morris. He's getting the workout. He got only a couple. Ricky Jackson on the bottom of the pile, number 57. Morris is only 5'7", weighs 195. But as John Madden said, he does have that quickness. Now he's going to have another discussion, this time not with Bill Parcells, but with Ricky Jackson.
Ricky Jackson says, hey, I'm too tired to even fight here. Ricky Jackson, as we said, got sick last night at the pregame meal and or at the dinner last night, and they put him in the hospital. They didn't know if he'd be able to play, but he's gone the whole game so far.
Third down at 6 at the 45 of New Orleans. Sims comes out of the pocket, operates to Bobby Johnson. Out of bounds. Dave Waymer was the defender. And Landeta will come on the punt.
You know, this has to be frustrating for Phil Simms and the entire Giant team, I think, is that really the things that they have to do, they're pretty much doing. But they're just an inch off here, an inch off there, a fumble, a missed field goal.
Landeta back to kick. Carl Roaches back deep for the Saints. This one's going to stay up there too long and go on into the end zone and out. 45-yard punt. We'll bring it back to the 20. The Saints dodge another bullet. 11-13 left to play third quarter.
There's a style in your life no one could ever deny. You're on your way to the top, and along the way you've always known just who you are. Where you're going, you've always known it. Where you're going, it's Michelob.
Where you're going, it's exceptionally smooth Michelob.
Where you're going, it's Michelob.
It's Supercharged, the new Energizer AA battery.
From Energizer Science comes the longest-lasting Energizer AA ever made. No other battery can outlast it. It's supercharged.
It's America's newest bundle of energy.
When you've got to go in ice and snow, you're gonna go with Prestone.
Driving just 10,000 miles on weak, neglected antifreeze can leave a radiator looking this bad, while the Prestone radiator looks this good.
America goes with Prestone.
Fuel-injected Dodge Lancers come with optional turbochargers, and you can't expect that kind of power to stay put.
It's the boys' night out, and they're cruising around. The boys' night out, and they're doing the town. They're ripping up, heading out, looking for fun.
Dodge Lancers. We just can't keep them in the showroom.
7-3. Giants over the Saints. Next Saturday, CBS Sports College Football will present a crucial Big Ten game between #1 ranked Iowa and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Two Heisman Trophy candidates in action. You'll see it all here on CBS. Right now, it's 7-3. The score is misleading. John Tice was the move man. The pitch is back to Wilson. Wilson out of bounds at the 25, gain 5. Playing with an injured toe, which seems to occur so often on this artificial turf.
You know, an interesting matchup in there now, Pat, is the regular Saint quarterback, Steve Court, was just activated today, number 60. And he's a much bigger center than Joe Hilgenberg. He's one of the good players. He had a knee injury, missed 4 weeks, and this is his first game back. He didn't start today, but he's in there now.
Hand off Wilson. Straight ahead for 3. Bum Phillips said he just didn't think he was in good enough shape to play a whole game.
Okay, but he's a big, strong guy. You know, he's about 275 pounds, and with nose tackles like Jim Burt, that's what you need in there today. And I'll tell you, that's going to be a pretty good mashup. I mean, that's 2 guys around 6'1", 6'2", 270 pounds. That's not a bad deal. Court and Burt.
Bum said, and I was quite impressed with this, he said if he does get tired, he might get hurt again. And he's too good a player with too good a future to take that chance. Third down. Wilson would appear to have it.
I tell you, I think he would have had it a little easier, but his right guard, Ralph Williams, was pulling out there, and Wilson right at the end tripped over Williams's foot. Williams looking at it and said, "What? I almost got you on that one." Watch the right guard. He's going to come pulling out here to the left. Now watch right here. See, he gets knocked off, and Wilson's trying to cut right there. You see, he just tripped over his left foot. Luckily, he got the first down.
That's their first down in a long time. Since the opening drive, as a matter of fact. Wilson has the ball knocked loose. That's a fumble. Struggling. Lawrence Taylor made the sack. John Tice made a very fortunate recovery for the Saints. Lawrence Taylor made the hit. Leonard Marshall had a chance for a recovery, just couldn't get it done.
I'll tell you, that's why Lawrence Taylor is a great player, because he can dominate a game. When he gets in and he hits the guy, the ball will usually fly out of there. Leonard Marshall, he never handles the thing. He doesn't know what to do with it. He fumbles it and kicks it, and finally John Tice jumps on it at the end. But what I'll tell you, Taylor really put a jolt on Dave Wilson. Leonard Marshall, he doesn't have a chance to get that thing. He's falling all over it. Nose tackles, they don't have any chance to get it.
Here's Wilson struggling to get back to the 10. Jim Burt on the stop. Very unhappy crowd at the Superdome with the performance by the Saints. 3rd and 30.
Well, I tell you, these fans ought to be happy. I'm sure that Bum Phillips is that they got that ball back. Because had Leonard Marshall held on to it or Jim Burt been able to get there, the Giants would be first down in the 10-yard line.
Here's Wilson back to throw. Gets it outside to Tice. Tice gets out to the 20. Lawrence Taylor over there with him, along with Casey Merrill and Gary Reasons.
Giants have really taken over this game, but in taking it over, they haven't done anything about it.
Clock running with 7:45 left to play third quarter. The score is still 7-3. Hanson back to kick for the Saints. Bill McConkey back deep for the Giants. Good kick. A rocket. McConkey went all the way back to the 25, and now he goes out of bounds at the Giant 42. Jack Del Rio knocked him out of bounds. A punt of 55 yards by Hanson. McConkey returned it 16 yards.
Look what just popped up. The new Sony Handycam. A video camera recorder that sees and hears every move. Just point and shoot and catch all the fun. It's so tiny it fits in one hand. The new Sony Handycam. Where will it pop up next?
There's a style in your life no one could ever deny. You're on your way to the top, and along the way you've always known just who you are. Where you're going, you've always known it. Where you're going, it's Michelob.
Where you're going, it's exceptionally smooth Michelob.
Where you're going, it's Michelob.
Nowadays, when a businessman gets stuck in his car, he doesn't have to be just stuck in his car. He can be talking to a client, or a prospective client, or be in touch with his own office. He can be doing a million different things if he has our MobileNet cellular car phone service. Just imagine how much more productive you could be with MobileNet.
Gee.
No, GTE.
If you're serious about your football, your choice, week after week, is the NFL Today on CBS Sports.
Pat Summerall and John Madden. We're the Superdome in New Orleans. 68 degrees the temperature inside. It's just, well, it always is. Ideal. Outside, a hurricane approaches. Here's Adams. He got about 6.
I think George Adams, as he gets out there, he just wants to turn that thing up the field. And that time, again, he had 2 linemen pulling out in front of him. And I think sometimes he's still leaving those guys a little quickly and coming back to the inside. Watch him. He has both guards here. He starts out. Now, I would stay a little more in there behind Ard. You see, when he cuts back in there were 2 Saint defenders.
Second down. Adams jumps to the outside, now jumps back inside and jumps up until he is tackled by Jack Del Rio and some more Saints. But he's close to a first down. Sims thinks he has it. Bob Frederick says maybe he does, but let's take a closer look and measure it.
I'm sure that one of the strengths of the Giants team is not picking up short yardage situations. I'm sure that Phil Sims feels or hopes that this is one that he has the first down.
He does. Good sight, Phil.
This was the I formation. Now, Adams is pretty good. That's a heck of a cut there. I mean, he made that left foot plant. Then he makes a nice cut here off of Carthon's block, the little one. Then right at the end, he just finished that run off enough to pick up the first down.
He seems to operate better from the I formation than he does from this set, the standard pro set. Although that's not bad. A lot of backs are like that. They need a little bit more time to see things develop in front of them.
And especially if they've been in I formation back in college. You know, that's how they learn to see things, and they get used to looking at it from that angle. And the split backs coming across the backfield is a totally different look.
Adams has carried 14 times for picked up 83 yards. So he's had a good day. And doubtless we'll get a lot more work before we're through. 2nd and 5. Gets to Carpenter. Carpenter rambles for the first down before Jim Wilkes trips him up. This Rob Carpenter was with Bum Phillips in Houston before he came to New York.
Now Carpenter's a short guy here. Now watch Sims. He looks deep, comes back, turns off here, throws it underneath to Carpenter. Now what the Giants had, you saw that they had a layer thing. They had a deep, a middle, and a short, and he picked out and threw to the short guy.
First down, Giants at the St. 34. 7-3 they lead. Then sets up a screen pass again to Adams, and he gets away from a pursuing Saint. Bumps into one of his blockers. He turned what could have been a loss into a gain. Whitney Paul on the tackle.
I'll tell you, Chris Godfrey was a guard out there, and this time on the screen, he looked like he was flopping around in the park or something. Watch him. He gets turned all around. The first guard out here is Ard, but watch Godfrey. He sees he can't block anyone. He starts wandering around right there, see him? And old Adams just runs right into him. Said, what are you doing flopping around out here?
Who is that?
Well, get going upfield. Get one of those black jerseys.
2nd and 5. St. 29. DeMar. Flag is down. Giants continue to hammer away. James Gethers. And the preliminary indication by Bob Frederick is that it's against the Giants. Holding.
Holding the offense, number 65. 2nd down will be repeated.
That's the center, Bart Oates. He has a tough day. He gets caught for holding. He has the snap deal, and that's a drive stopper.
Saw Cincinnati leading. San Francisco now is 28-7 over the Rams. Rams just scored on a pass from Dieter Brock to Henry Ellard. 2nd and 15 here at the Superdome, with the Giants leading the Saints 7-3. They're backed up now to the Saint 39. Morris looks deep. Has a pass deflected intended for Byron Williams. He took a pretty heavy hit from Frank Watlitt. But the pass was deflected early.
That's one thing you get when you come across that middle. You may as well catch it because you're going to get it anyway. Byron Williams again. He may have gained a little too much yardage here. Frank Watlitt, number 49, was the deep guy. He was sitting. He saw that ball in the air. Whap! He hit Williams just as the ball arrived.
Third down and 15. Sims wanting to make sure that everybody is picked up, operating out of the spread. Snap is good from Godfrey. Sims steps up into the pocket. Flag is down. Sims fumbles. The Saints get it. Tony Elliott fell on it.
Trying to see who the penalty is against now. Of course, if it's against the Giants.
It's an illegal formation on the offense. Penalty will be refused. First and 10.
It is. The Saints have the ball. Watch for that now. Again, you go back to what put the Giants in this position. The holding penalty did. Now they get the long edge. Now they can't hold up in the pass protection. Now they get the fumble and lose it there. See, that's a tough thing when a tackler comes from behind and throws that right hand in there. But it's tough because you can't protect it because you can't see it coming.
Now it's Bruce Clark who got the hand in and caused the fumble. Wilson is still the quarterback. Here's Earl Campbell. Campbell about 5 yards. Gary Reason's on the bottom of the pile. And Terry Kennard with an assist.
You know, of course, Bum Phillips and the Saints are taking a lot of criticism for this Earl Campbell thing. You know, Earl Campbell coming here really hasn't done a lot with the Saints. They traded George Rogers, got rid of him, and Campbell hasn't been doing much, and it's been a tough thing for Earl Campbell. And Bum Phillips said, I don't think it's not because he's not trying. I think he's trying too hard.
Earl needs 20 to get to 9,000. Handoff though is to Wilson, and he gets, well, his second effort got him close to a first down. Terry Kennard made the stop with a good run by Wayne Wilson.
I'll tell you what he does. Watch this. He's going to hit into the left side. There's a big bunch of guys in there. Guy go boom, boom, grunting and grunting. He hits in there. No one grabs him. He just slides right along that big pile and then goes down and picks up 3 or 4 yards on that deal.
They'll bring the sticks out and measure to see if he got a first down with that extra effort.
Well, those big linemen were in there and they were all grunting and groaning. No one grabbed Wayne Wilson.
That's short. Talk about a roll of tape short.
Talk about a roll of tape. You know, Jim Burt has that short, that small jersey. The 6 is darn near separated from the 4, but then that's all tape. The reason is that's tape from the inside. He tapes the jersey to the shoulder pad. See, and then that guy can't grab him. Then it's about four sizes too small, see? Look what that 4 is. That 4 is under the armpit.
Somebody ought to tell him they're wearing the numbers in front this year. Or in back.
If you're going to tape it to the front. Tape it under your arm.
Third short. Wilson keeps it himself, dives behind his right guard, and would appear to have the first down.
He's lucky he dove behind his right guard because Jim Burt really teed off on Steve Court. Watch this. This is pit battle down here. Watch 64. Doink! He knocked him into the backfield. So Wayne Wilson had to go to the right. Dave Wilson, had to go to the right, and he picks up the first down. He couldn't go over to center. See, the center gets knocked into the backfield, and Dave Wilson just takes a step and gets in behind his right guard, Ralph Williams.
Imagine what that play would have looked like if we'd been outside.
Oh, great play.
Wilson to Campbell. And Earl goes for the first down over the right side, stopped by Elvis Patterson. A gain of 13, and now he needs only 7 yards. seventh player ever to do that.
Hey, Earl Campbell in the I formation, that makes sense there too. He can he has those big, strong legs, and you see what happens when they try and strip the ball on him. He puts it over there and protects it.
Oh, what some great years he had at Houston. He has another chance. Earl hammers right, picked up 4. Leonard Marshall on the bottom of the pile.
I'll tell you, there's no one more in this whole place that wants to have some semblance of a good day than Earl Campbell. I mean, he's come here and he just really hasn't been accepted here in New Orleans, and he wants to be, and he wants to help this team.
5 carries, 30 yards. Williams comes out, replaced by Rourke. 2nd and 6. Campbell again. Bang. Kenny Hill made the stop. This is vintage Earl Campbell.
You know, he was telling us last night at practice that he was wearing some pantyhose type thing. And he says, I'm going to wear those. He said, Wayne Wilson said to wear them. They'd bring me good luck. He said, I'm looking for anything now. He said, I'm struggling. He said, if it takes these things, I'm going to wear them. There's some red jobs.
Red pantyhose.
Red pantyhose. Supposedly, it keeps all your muscles together.
Keeps your legs warm and prevents muscle pulls, hamstring pulls, or whatever the case might be.
Yeah, but who would have thought that it would take that to get out of a slump?
3rd and inches. Earl Campbell has just become the 7th player in NFL history to rush for over 9,000 yards.
Hey, one thing I always respected about Earl Campbell, you know, there's a lot of good players, and all good players aren't necessarily good guys. But I tell you, he is.
Some pictures of what defense the Giants were in you saw coming down that wire down to the St. bench. Campbell and Wilson. And it's Campbell again. That'll be enough. Jerome Salley, an ex-New Orleans Saint, made the stop on Campbell.
You know what they do? Up in the press box, they take Polaroid shots, and then they can quickly develop them. Then they send them down the sideline. You see, they take it, and that shows the defense the Giants were in. Then they slide it down this thing, take it to the sideline, and they know on the sideline right now what they were doing.
7-3 at the end of 3.
Last year, Dodge made a very dramatic announcement. In a very dramatic way. We announced that every truck we build, every full-size pickup, van, wagon, and Ram Charger comes with our 5-year or 50,000-mile protection plan. And back then, we challenged Ford and Chevy to match that coverage. But you know what? Ford and Chevy still fall short. Dodge, still the best-backed trucks in America. And that's guaranteed.
Families have come to us. They believe in liberty, Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Our house is special to us, so we shopped around for homeowners insurance.
Liberty Mutual gave us the right protection at the right price. We believe in liberty.
America believes in liberty. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
For a limited time, Wendy's breakfast is yours for a song.
Only Wendy's.
Wendy's French toast is now 99 cents.
Only Wendy's.
99 cents for a scrambled egg platter, too.
Only Wendy's and Wendy's alone.
Our breakfast sandwich, 99 cents. Wendy's breakfast, yours for a song.
For only you.
The #1 ranked Iowa Hawkeyes. The 9th ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. A crucial Big Ten meeting next Saturday on CBS Sports.
7-3. Giants over New Orleans as we start the 4th quarter. In a game statistically dominated by the Giants, but now it's the Saints who are on the move. Earl Campbell is the lone setback. They give to Campbell. Lawrence Taylor. Modern technology at its best.
Well, you know, they take the picture from upstairs, the Polaroid, they develop, pull it out, put it down the string. Now watch this guy here, he pulls it off. He runs it over to the coach in the sideline. And the coach over here that he's bringing it to is Carl Mock. Remember, he was the offensive center for years in the NFL. Now he can look at those Polaroids and tell what the Giant defense is doing.
Ben Franklin in reverse. 2nd and 8. Lawrence Taylor is on a blitz. Wilson gets it out to Tice. And Tice hammers down inside the Giant 25 before he's stopped by Elvis Patterson and Byron Hunt.
I'll tell you, whatever the Saints are doing there in the sideline, it's working because they're starting to get to the Giants both on the run and the pass.
You need some oxygen. That's Ricky Jackson in the middle with the oxygen mask on. Remember, he was ailing last night, spent the night in a hospital, but has been able to play. 3rd and 1. First down. The Saints are 3 and 4. The Giants are 4 and 3. Dallas has already won. The Eagles won. They're 4 and 4. The Redskins won. They're 4 and 4. As you look at Earl Campbell's career stats, 91 games with Houston. He averaged 94.2 yards per game. Scored 73 touchdowns. Here, it hasn't been as pleasant.
I think that also tells why Earl Campbell wants to get it done.
Well, he'll have another chance. He stumbles and trips in the backfield, tripped up by Jim Burton.
I'll tell you, that didn't look like much, but that was a first down play. That was a big play by Jim Burton. Watch the nose tackles, 64, over the center, plays off the guard. You see him get back there. He knocks off the pulling guard, then the pulling guard knocks off Campbell. So you can see that knocked him into the backfield and makes that 2nd and 12 situation. Big play by Burton.
And Wayne Wilson now becomes the lone setback. Earl Campbell comes out. And Dave Wilson doesn't like what he sees and uses a Saint timeout. Remember that. 12:19 left to play. The Giants lead 7-3. Saints shut them out in the 3rd quarter, and that's been their big period so far.
Tickets, please.
Ready for the big vacation?
Now we're flying to one of those spots where you need more books than clothes.
The way you're playing, you need a vacation.
Get a good fare?
Him? You can bet on it. Lowest fare around.
Yeah, probably get stranded in Bora Bora.
No. Actually, the lowest fare was on American.
Skip, the man's way ahead of you.
Shit.
When you're something special, people know it.
The caravan, a traditional journey, unmerciful as the desert sun. Ah, but now there's the revolutionary Dodge Caravan. With room for heavy burdens or up to 8 people. A 5-year or 50,000-mile protection plan and civilized features like front-wheel drive, which is why Dodge Caravan has no equal under the sun.
When do you say L.A.?
When I've got an afternoon of painting ahead of me, I say L.A.
Think it needs 2 coats.
Nah.
When do you say L.A.?
When it's open house and I'm the host, I say L.A.
Stu?
Bob.
Sorry.
But I'll change it.
From Anheuser-Busch, L.A. beer. Great taste with half the alcohol. Sometimes it's the perfect thing to say.
You can say that again.
Stu?
No, Clem did.
L.A. Sometimes it's the perfect thing to say.
Let's watch that play that Jim Burton made. Burt's here. He's going to penetrate here. He knocks off the pulling tackle here, forces Campbell deep, and then grabs his foot at the bottom. This is a heck of a play. Watch him. He starts here. He goes through the guard, gets a penetration here. Now watch him right there. He knocks off Stan Brock. That forces Campbell deep. Now he grabs his foot. That puts 2nd and long, gets Campbell out of the game, puts the Saints into a passing situation.
That was a heck of a play. 2nd and 12. They're at the 24. Here they come. Wilson steps up into the pocket. Down he goes in the hands of Byron Hunt, and also down goes a penalty flag. George Martin. I beg your pardon. That's Guido Merkins at quarterback.
I think that was probably a play just for Guido Merkins. That was going to be an option play. That was a college option play. They put Merkins in. Of course, he's been a quarterback. He's been a wide receiver.
Number 30 on the offense.
Defensive back.
Penalty will be refused.
Watch him now. What happens is the right guard goes first. See, it was going to be a bootleg. He was going to fake. Then he was going to get in behind his two guards. Of course, it didn't work.
And Wilson, who was running pass patterns yesterday, became a receiver.
Well, remember in the championship game, the 49ers did that. Remember, they put Freddie Solomon at quarterback. They put Joe Montana out there. That's the same thing the Saints just did.
Now Wilson is the quarterback, and it's 3rd and 14. And that was Perkins in motion. Wilson up into the pocket, going deep. Just over the head and out of the reach of Guido Merkins.
You know, the interesting thing about that play, Pat, is they took a timeout to do it. That was after a timeout. I don't know if the Giants knew anything about it. It sure didn't fool them. Put Wilson a wide receiver, Merkins at quarterback, then put Wilson back at quarterback and throw one to Merkins. Bum's pulling out the tricks here.
They do have in their playbook a fake field goal as well. Morton Anderson, though, 3 out of 4 from this distance, having a good year. That was right down the pipe. 43 yards. And it's 7-6. We'll return to the Superdome after this word from your local station.
This is CBS.
Cowboy. I'm gonna brand this new Nissan truck before somebody grabs it. $59.99. Tell them, Shane.
Hey, it's yours.
$59.99. I can't believe it.
Not only that, we deal give you a great trade on your old
Not her.
truck and can arrange long-term financing.
Probably old.
They're all 86s at 84 prices. Standard 4x is less than last year.
I don't believe it. Shut up, Hood. It's a deal.
Your Nissan dealer will make a believer out of you. So come in now. Seeing is believing at your Tri-State Nissan dealer.
Listen. Did you hear that? Or was it your imagination? The Panasonic VHS Hi-Fi gives you sound through your stereo so real, you'll wonder, is it a movie? Or is it in fact happening? Until you've seen the Panasonic VHS Hi-Fi. You haven't heard it all. VHS Hi-Fi video recorders from Panasonic.
It's time to play the airline guessing game. Each of our lucky couples will try to land a great deal to Florida. Will they pick hangar door number 1, number 2, or number 3?
What these unsuspecting travelers don't know is for just $99, they could fly Eastern Airlines and avoid all this.
Oh, hope you're not hungry because you picked an airline that makes you pay extra for food. Extra for food?
For $99 at Eastern, you get a great flight and terrific food. Why take a chance on anyone else?
Your growing odds of getting AIDS at 6.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Honda, who invite you to see the new Accord hatchbacks and 4-door sedans at your local Honda dealer. Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. And by Radio Shack, the computer experts.
Anderson's kickoff soaring deep into the end zone where it's gathered in and down by Adams. 7-6. The Giants' first down rushing the previous 2 weeks. They rushed 30 times, picked up 32 yards. That's not a good enough average. Today, 17 for 108, 6.3 is plenty good enough. Nevertheless, the score is 7-6. First down, Giants, their own 20. Sends to work. Dumps to Carpenter. Carpenter tripped up after a gain of about 3. Glenn Red made the stop. In comes Bobby Johnson, Maurice Carton, and Joe Morris. Carpenter goes out. Manuel goes out. Adams goes out. 2nd and 7. Johnson wide left. Byron Williams wide right. Hand off Morris. Joe Morris gets the first down. Good run.
One thing out on that, you know, as they come out here to the right, Ricky Jackson didn't play this strong. Watch him. Carthon gets him to the outside, then that gives him a soft corner, and that's what enables Morris to get up there and pick up the first down. Ricky Jackson really isn't playing strong on this side.
Morris, 14 carries, picked up 82 yards. First down, Giants, their own 31. McConkey goes in motion. Bavaro is wide open. Nobody home. Bavaro into Saint territory. Stopped by Frank Wadlett. That had to be just blown coverage.
That's always a good one, because what happens, see, here's Bavaro right here. Now, as the action starts, you want to get these two linebackers coming this way. Then Bavaro sneaks right across here. Now, watch what the play action, you see the backs are going to start to this side. Now, see the linebacker right there. Stop. See, now they're here, and here's Bavaro. You see the play action fool the linebackers and let them get by him.
A gain of 20. Simmons again to Adams. Adams got a couple. Tony Elliott on the bottom of the pile.
I tell you, poor Ricky Jackson is a real good linebacker in this league. In fact, Bill Parcells said he's probably one of the top 5. But today, he was in the hospital last night, and he's really playing without his strength today. And on that last play, Mark Bavaro just knocked him around like he was a rag doll.
He looks tired.
He looks sapped.
2nd and 8 with 9 minutes left to play. It's Sims backpedaling. Incomplete. Bobby Johnson, the intended receiver. Johnny Poe just got a hand in there.
I'll tell you one thing, had Phil Simms looked to his right, I think he could have done some business with Mark Bavaro on that one, because he was on Ricky Jackson, but he's going in here to Bobby Johnson, who's on the other side, and Johnny Poe is just all over him. I mean, that was good coverage. There was nothing to throw to there.
Big down here, 3rd and 8 from the Saint 47. Sims out of the spread. And down he goes. And really upset is Phil Sims. That's the first time he's been sacked today. James Geathers got there and undressed him.
Sims is in the shotgun. Out there to his left, he has 3 wide receivers. You see him looking? He's looking at those receivers. None of them are open. Now, what he was complaining about is that he got hit in the head and the face mask, and he thought that should have been a face mask penalty.
And then he couldn't throw because he couldn't see. He had to take the time to adjust his helmet. Landetta standing back at his own 33. Carl Roaches will wait for this high, good kick. Roaches fumble, and the Giants had a shot at it. And the scramble goes on. Giants have it. I believe Elvis Patterson is the one who came up with it.
Elvis Patterson's the one that's doing the celebrating with it. Look, he got those gloves on, all those arm pads up. He got that ball. He's going to take that one and put it with the one he has from the Philadelphia Eagle game. Going to keep it in the same deal. Roaches, again, just fumbled that ball. He had his hands out there in front. It looked like he looked up. Now watch, here's Tolles almost has it. It gets up his side. No one grabs it. Here comes Elvis Patterson, number 34, over the top. See, he has it in that right hand. Then he picks it up and runs in. Of course, can't do that.
Turnovers. This time it's the Saints. 1st and 10 from the 12. to Morris. Morris inside the 10 to about the 8.
Wilkes
made the tackle.
I don't think anyone on the Giants side is getting too excited about them being down in here inside the 10, because this year it seems like they've had as many bad things happen to them in this area as they've had good things happen.
4 times they fumble the ball at the 2-yard line or inside the 2-yard line. 2nd and 6. McConkey in motion to give us to Morris. He bounces off a 1 and hammers down to about the 5, just inside the 5. Frank Watlett. It'll be 3rd down.
You know, one thing about Joe Morris, he's not a little guy. He's a short guy. I tell you, he's compact. There's a lot of muscle and stuff in that little package. He's only 5'7", but he has good leg strength. He has big, strong legs.
Weighs 195, and in a 5'7", that is a good package.
Yeah, but look from the waist down there. I mean, that's a pretty big, strong guy. He's just short.
3rd down. Morris again. Touchdown. From 5 yards out, the Morris package gets 6.
And they ran that again right at Ricky Jackson, their Pro Bowl linebacker, right up here to the left of the screen. Good block down there on Clark. Jackson's going to get kicked out. Look at that big hole in there for Joe Morris. He's only 5'7". He doesn't need that much. They could have stuck a refrigerator there in front of him.
Billy Ard scored 2.
He was a refrigerator.
Atkinson's extra point is good. And the Giants lead it, and the kicker is hurt. Giants lead it 14-6.
They will come from all over. They will look. They will listen. But most of all, they will learn. And they will be amazed with what will be. The new Accord from Honda.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
This year, I needed to give a real family pleaser.
Honey, please help me with this budget.
How about a new game, Dad? Please.
And I found it. Radio Shack's Color Computer 2. On sale for just $88. It entertains, educates, manages. It's expandable and affordable. Now that really pleases me.
The Color Computer 2. Sale priced for Christmas. Only at Radio Shack.
Hey, the guy that makes a block on that one is Carl Nelson right here on Bruce Clark. He gets him in by himself. Jackson runs too deep, and that creates the big hole there. Watch a right tackle, 63. Right there, the job he does on Clark, and that gives a hole. Ard can come through it and ream it out, and then Morris is right in behind him.
Seems like the kicker, who was in pain when we left you, is okay. Kickers heal quickly.
Especially in indoor stadiums.
Tullis at the 8. To the 28. Terry Kennard made the stop.
I'll tell you a little thing with that kickoff coverage. Bill Parcells was so upset last week with his kickoff coverage. He told him in a meeting, he said, if you guys don't do better this week, 3 of you are going to be cut. He said, 3 of you guys are going. He said, I already know who I'm bringing in, and I'll tell you who they are. He told them 2 of the guys and said, you don't know the 3rd guy, but I'm bringing him in. So that kickoff coverage there is a tryout every time they run down the field.
First down, Saints. Wilson on the right side to Wayne Wilson, and nothing doing. Jim Burt was there in a hurry. The crowd doesn't particularly like that selection of plays. With 6.5 minutes left to play, and a score 14-6.
I tell you, Jim Burt on these last 2 series has come up with some good plays. He's here. He's just going to jump to the outside and get Wilson. Watch him jump there, gets by the thing, gets a penetration, and gets Wilson in the backfield just as he's trying to make a cut.
Loss of 1 at 2nd and 11. Tyrone Anthony is in the backfield with Wilson. Ball's got it up in the air and intercepted by Leonard Marshall. He hasn't got a sack, but he's got his interception today.
Leonard Marshall said, I didn't get that last fumble when we had it. I had a chance, but I'll just pick this thing out of the air. But the big play is a push up the middle. You watch the inside pressure there. Burt's coming in. Marshall's coming in. It looks like Burt got his hand up, or maybe Marshall got his left hand up and caught it with both. That's a pretty good play.
I think it was Marshall.
Yeah, I mean, he got the thing, he got the bat with his left hand, then caught it with both. Now, you can do some bragging when you do that. You can call all the guys together in the sideline and say, hey, I batted it, I got it, I hit it. Look, here's 5, give me 10, the whole deal. And that
he had a full complement of friends in the lobby of the hotel last night. Sims fell down, but got the ball to Morris. Dave Waymer.
Well, you know, the guys always lead the lobby, you know, when they're playing in their hometown. And Leonard Marshall, of course, went to LSU, and all his people were there in the lobby with him, his relatives, his friends. He was holding court in there.
Taking pictures.
Taking pictures, yes.
Some home cooking.
Look, that smile, that's the same smile he had in the lobby of the hotel last night.
Right. The ball's at the Saint 19. Adams was the man in motion. This is Rob Carpenter. Carpenter inside the 15 to about the 12. Tony Elliott. This one would seem to be in the W column for the Giants now after that interception by Marshall. They're about a foot shy of the first down. How'd the Concorde get inside?
They had a nice landing, no smooth, no bumps. What about this hurricane outside?
229 yards rushing for the Giants. Hurricane Juan is supposed to hit this area sometime in the morning, we now understand. But the winds are high and the rain is heavy. Joe Morris. That's some good, strong running. Frank Watlett brought him down. Morris lost his hat. John, you don't fly, but do hurricanes bother trains?
Well, it does if the water gets up too high and it gets up above the tracks. You know, here's another thing on Joe Morris. You see how he's able to kick out of that tackle? What's the strength of that leg? I mean, Watlett has him. He's bringing him down, you know, trying to, but he's still able to keep those legs moving and keep gaining yards.
Morris over 100 yards now, 19 carries, 1 touchdown. First and goal from the 7. Giants leading 14-6.
The halfback position for the Giants has had a big day.
Over 200, I would imagine. Here's Adam. Good, tough running. Gumbo, the mascot, not too pleased about what's going on.
You know, they say that it's always perfect weather in here, but it's not. You see, the way a dog sweats is through his tongue. So he's sweating. It's humid in this place.
Normally, dogs don't wear jerseys, though.
Oh, well, Gumbo's saying it's been a long day. I got to get out of here. I don't like 4 on Gumbo. Now, that's a bad number. He should be like number 73. You know what I mean? A guy.
Yeah, 4 makes him seem like a kicker. Here's Adam to the 2. Jack Del Rio made a stop for the Saints. Bill Parcells, frustrating day, but nevertheless a satisfying and rewarding day because it's going to go in the W column.
Well, Bill Parcells' patience has been tried today. I think, you know, their plan was an outstanding plan. I think they did everything that they had to, and then they would just foul up somewhere along the line, but they have it back together now. And I tell you, Bill Parcells has done an outstanding job
Really?
coaching in his 3 years with the Giants. I think he's really one of the underrated guys in this league.
Third and goal from just outside the 2. Adams again. A penalty marker is down on the far side of the field. He didn't score. There may have been a fumble. The Saints are signaling we've got it. Adams doesn't think he fumbled. He thinks he scored.
I tell you, he's hoping he scores. He already has 3 fumbles down there in that area, and the last thing he wants is another fumble. I know it, yeah, but he's signaling touchdown down there. He's hoping it's a touchdown. Hey, please be a touchdown.
Positive thinking. Positive hoping may be better.
He's not going to stop either. He's going to keep those things up until the officials say something.
The defense was offside. There will be a penalty, and we will replay the down.
Adams goes out. Morris comes back in. Conrad Goody, who plays tight end in this goal line setup, reports to the official he'll play left end.
I'll tell you, George Adams is still upset over there in that sideline. He wanted the touchdown probably as much as he didn't want the fumble because he he said, I'm not a fumbler. I don't fumble. You know, I've never had that before, and I don't want to be known as a fumbler. I'm sure he doesn't want to come out in his goal line.
There was no score on the play, and there will be a penalty for the defensive team offside. And we will replay third.
Now, Bob Frederick delivers a serious message.
But the only thing he didn't say is, did George Adams fumble or not? That's what Adams was looking at. Don't say it, please.
17 carries, 89 yards for number 33.
I bet they give it to Joe Morris down here.
Maurice Carthon is in front of him. He's the blocker. Morris, the man who gets it in the end zone. As diagrammed, Morris gets the touchdown from a yard out behind Carthon.
Hey, the left side of that line, Brad Benson and Billy Ard have been doing a good job today. Watch them. They start off here in a double team, get the thing going back. Carthon can lead, and Morris doesn't need a big hole. He just found that crack, and you see how he felt it and leaned back into his right and into the end zone.
Put the inside shoulder down. Don't give him much of a target, and you get 6.
Now that's positive thinking when they look up and down like that.
I bet you they never see anything.
Well, what they do is they're just looking up to get positive thoughts that they're going to make it and block everything else out. Let's watch the touchdown again here. Double team by Arden Benson, lead by Carthon, and a slither by Morris.
A strong slither gets 6.
Give me a light. Bud Light. Cold but chilly.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get. Give me a light. Bud Light. So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Good, give me a light. No, Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
Mobil 1 synthetic motor oil. The technology behind it gives this driver engine protection he can depend on. this driver. And this driver. And this driver. Mobile synthetic oil technology. There's no finer engine protection on Earth or anywhere else.
In their first meeting, the Chicago Bears steamrolled their bitter rival. The rematch is set for Green Bay next Sunday on CBS Sports.
Pat Summerall, John Madden at the Superdome in New Orleans. Atkinson set to kick it off. Doesn't get it all. Willie Tullis at the 10. Hit down by Larry Flowers. And hard. Next week, coming up here on CBS, John Madden and I will be back at Giant Stadium as the winless Buccaneers make a visit. These New Orleans Saints go to Anaheim to play the Rams, and Philadelphia goes against the 49ers. The 49ers beating the Rams today. Philadelphia's already won to level their record at 4-4, so don't laugh at them anymore. Tyrone Anthony. Long setback. Dave Wilson gets it out to him. Faced by Kennard and knocked out of bounds by Kennard. Here is the picture in the NFC East. The Giants, of course, still playing but leading. Should improve to 5-3, just a game behind Dallas. Dallas beat Atlanta today. They're 6-2. The Eagles 4-4. The Redskins, who won today, 4-4. And St. Louis, I don't know, 3-5.
I think they can be counted out, but I don't think those other two can, either the Eagles or the Redskins.
I agree. 2-2. Wilson to Larry Hardy, his tight end. That'll be enough for Saint. First down, a gain of 13. Andy Hedden made the stop. Clock running now, 2:24. Less than that now. Saints only have 2 timeouts remaining. Pass from Wilson to Eric Martin, underthrown. The Saint turnovers. What happened? Interception, touchdown, fumble, touchdown, interception, touchdown. That pretty well tells you the story of what they'll do to you.
You know, that's always a big thing. It's not only the number of turnovers, but what the other team did once they got the turnover. You see, that was 21 points of turnover.
Right, and that's all the points. Anthony gets a Saint first down. We'll have a 2-minute warning. Saints hurry up. But the 2-minute warning will stop it. Saints just have 2 of timeouts remaining. So 2 minutes left to play here at the Superdome. The Giants comfortably ahead 21-6.
When a road is slippery, braking your car can cause skidding or worse. Now, Tevis, an ITT company, has an anti-lock brake system to help keep your car under control. A built-in computer senses the road and brakes the wheels without locking. This ITT Tevis system is available on some American cars now, and none too soon.
Looking for a loan? Tried talking to a financial institution? Big, impersonal. Looks like you need a friend. At Beneficial, we're big.
Hi, I'm Fred.
But very personal. You'll talk to the boss when you talk to Beneficial, so there's no committee, no waiting. Everything could be wrapped up in 24 hours.
Congratulations.
Thanks, big guy.
Thank you.
Beneficial. Talk to the manager and you're talking to the boss.
The beef goes on. McDonald's beef goes on. Your big beef, pure beef, hot and lean. Oh, the beef goes on. You're 100% pure beef machine. Oh yeah, the beef goes on. From Big Mac to quarter pounder, lean and hot. Your big beef taste just won't stop. It's a good time for the great taste. Oh, McDonald's, the beef goes on.
Lawrence Taylor got stung a little bit.
That was the last play just before the 2-minute warning. That was a heck of a tackle by Lawrence Taylor, and after that play, he got up slowly and went to the sidelines, and he was on the bench, and they were working on his shoulder. He's okay, though.
Still on the sidelines, but up and talking. Wilson up into the pocket with time, gets it out to Tice. And Tice gets down to about the 36-yard line before Byron Hunt trips him. Another man down for the Giants. Terry Kennard. Boy, he has really been playing well, but he is now in obvious pain.
I'll tell you, that is something, you know, I mean, anytime you get an injury, you hate to see an injury, but when you get it to one of your best players on defense in the last 2 minutes when you have the game won, that is really a sickening thing. You watch Kennard here, it's in the open field, and that was one of those artificial turf injuries. They can tell me that there's no difference between artificial turf and grass. That's a bunch of baloney. This plastic stuff causes more injuries than grass ever has.
It's just ironic. Bill Parcells was talking about yesterday. We were visiting with him saying, you guys ought to do a feature on how many good safeties there are in the NFL this year, one of whom is my guy, Terry Kennard.
He has a lot of respect for Terry Kennard. He was talking about Wes Hopkins of the Philadelphia Eagles, Van McElroy of the Raiders. Those guys are not only good football players, but they're some great athletes.
Well, they have to be. Not only have to be great athletes, they have to be great mentally.
Well, they have to be aware of everything. You know, they have to know what the other team is going to do and then what every guy on their team does. They have to direct so much traffic back there.
2nd and 1. Wilson looking downfield, has Eric Martin. And has him about the Giant 22 for a first down. Herb Welch made the stop. This telecast presented by the authority of the National Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New Orleans Saints and the NFL is prohibited. As the Saints go to work with Tyrone Anthony and get to the 20. They must have called a timeout. I didn't see him indicate, but they did.
Yeah, the Saints called a timeout.
And they have 1 remaining in the half. Left to play. Giants up 21-6.
The Honda Prelude SI. We haven't put all the fun at your fingertips. There's a little something for your right foot.
This Halloween, don't just ask for a light beer.
Bartender, please, give me a light.
No! Bud Light! Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
Now, how about if I tweet?
Make this Halloween a Bud Light Fright Night. Look for this display with free poster and special mug offer at participating retailers.
Me, I'm an accountant.
This fall, millions of people will change their antifreeze, but not their radiator hoses. It's an easy mistake to make, because hoses can look good outside even when they're wearing out inside. So put in Quality Gates hoses the next time you change antifreeze. Because if your hoses go, your car won't.
Coming up tonight here on CBS, 60 Minutes. Murder, She Wrote. Crazy Like a Fox. And Trapper John M.D. At the Superdome, a minute 18 left to play. Giants leading 21-6. 2nd and 8. Saints at the Giant 20. They fake the blitz. Outside to Hardy. And he couldn't get out of bounds. The clock will continue. back in hurry up. Locked down close to a minute now. Bill Parcells has another one. It has his Giants remaining just a game behind the Cowboys. There comes the blitz. A touchdown to Eric Martin. He was back there with Ched Watts, but the Saints finally got it in.
Ted Watts was up man-to-man in tight coverage on Eric Martin. We see Dave Wilson, he just looks out there all the way. And again, he just throws it up over Watts. Watts got lost out there. That throw wasn't that good a throw. He should have defended that. You see he's up here tight. He really doesn't get much of a bump there. Had he turned his head or got his arm up sooner, he would have knocked that ball down. That was poor defense.
The extra point by Anderson is good. And it's 21-13. When they kick off, Anderson, of course, was successful last week against Atlanta with an onside kick. And one of the unique things about him, when he does onside kick it, he can go either right foot or left foot.
This is the time that you'd like to see that two-point play in the NFL. Right. You know, where you could go for the two-point conversion, because with the Saints being down 8 points, even if they do get an onside kick, even if they do get another score, they still can't win the game. Of course, maybe that's why the Giants are so relaxed over there, and maybe on defense we're a little too relaxed.
By the way, the word on Terry Kennard is that he had a sprained ankle. Don't know the degree of seriousness yet. And the problem with Lawrence Taylor was what they call a stinger.
Well, what happens, you know, I'm sure that you've had those stingers when you get hit on the shoulder and it just goes right down your body. I don't know, that's Chris Godfrey. I don't know if he had a stinger or something more serious than a stinger, because they put ice on it.
Looks like a rap stinger.
Usually if you get a stinger, they don't put ice on it. Look at the Saints, they got everyone on the right side.
And Anderson goes left-footed in that direction. The Giants, Tony Galbraith is right there and fields it on one hop. And the Giants will be able to run it out. The Saints only have one timeout left. Don't forget, coming up next week here on CBS, we'll be at the Meadowlands with the Giants again against Tampa Bay. New Orleans goes to Los Angeles, to Anaheim to face the Rams, and Philadelphia goes to Candlestick Park to play the 49ers. Check your local listings for the game in your area. 52 seconds left to play. Saints will have to use their remaining timeout right now. The executive producer of the NFL on CBS, Terry O'Neill. Charles Milton III. Today's game produced by Robert D. Stinner. Sandy Grossman directing. Sandy on the move a lot these days. Joan Vetrano, associate producer. The rest of our staff. John and I both say thank you. Alluding to the fact that our director, Sandy Grossman, yesterday did the NBA game in New York and then flew down here last night. Was able to rest up for today's game.
Well, he's one of those guys that can do both. I mean, he can cover a Patrick Ewing's debut on one day and Phil Simms passing the next day, and then you know, tomorrow he could do yet something else. I mean, maybe he'll do like Murder, She Wrote tonight.
Well, he's just well-rounded.
There's a guy, Phil McConkey. He's really something. You know, we saw him in the lobby of the hotel just wearing a T-shirt and a pair of jeans yesterday, and he looks like some guy just hanging around. I'm sure that they ask him, you know, to get out of the way. The players are coming through, and
you got to have a credential.
You have a credential. You can't be here.
He's one of those guys that does a lot of lobby hang time.
Oh yeah, he'll be around there, looking for someone to say hello to.
Coming up next, don't forget, the NFL Today, the wrap-up show with Brent Musburger. Lawrence Taylor over the stinger. That was the shoulder he hurt. Now he can wave with it, so everything's okay.
The stinger is gone.
Joe Morris had a good day. He's become the short yardage touchdown man.
Right, and he's holding onto that helmet. They aren't going to hide that helmet on him now.
In case I have to go back in, I'm going to go fully equipped. Here's Bill Parcells coming over to congratulate Bum Phillips, or say hello. Probably not congratulate. That's a bad choice of words. Wrap-up show and the scores and highlights coming up with Brett Musburger. Here at the Superdome, it's over. And the Giants go to 5-3 and win 21-13.
Power. That's what I practice for. Power. And afterward, I want all the power I can get in my antiperspirant. Speed Stick.
Now, Speed Stick is improved with the most powerful wetness fighter. Nothing but nothing fights wetness and odor better.
The Wide Stick. Man-sized protection. Saves a lot of strokes. Helps keep you drier and odor-free all day.
Now it's the most powerful you can buy. New improved Speed Stick antiperspirant.
By Menon. Hold on tight, let it flow. Feels so right. Here we go. Honda ATV gets ya where you wanna be. Honda ATV gets you where the fun is.
Honda makes a complete line of ATVs for doing all kinds of things, especially having all kinds of fun.
Honda ATV gets you where the fun is.
Well, coming up next here on CBS will be 60 Minutes, and let's take you through and give you a quick scoring wrap-up right now, what went on around the National Football League. And, of course, the Giants win 21-13. Tampa Bay is next for the Giants. A couple of games still in progress, and the San Francisco 49ers rebound with a vengeance this afternoon, a game they had to win, and they are. Leading 28-7, you can see Joe Montana here as he threw 3 touchdown passes before he left in the third quarter with a strained sternum. Now, Roger Craig also had a couple of touchdowns on the day. He continues to lead the National Football League in that category. Watch Wendell Tyler with this grab right here. Then Montana will come back to his longtime buddy on this one. It is Dwight Clark. But perhaps the prettiest play of the opening half was Roger Craig. Watch the defensive back, Johnson, lose the ball in the sun. And that allows Craig to make the catch and get in, and for the season, 11 touchdowns. Now, the other game in progress is this one, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. It is now 26-21. Louis Lips has scored twice for the Steelers on a punt return and a 46-yard catch. Now, the Giants, of course, as we told you, a winner also. The Dallas Cowboys beat Atlanta. 24-10 was the final in that one. Denver over Kansas City, 30-10 is the final count there. Detroit over Miami by 10 points in the Silverdome. And Chicago, the only unbeaten team in the National Football League. New England comes back. They scored 32 unanswered points after giving up 14. The Jets a winner. They spotted Seattle 14 and scored the next 17 and win 17-14. Indianapolis over Green Bay, 37-10, the final there. And Philadelphia comes from behind in the second half to pull one out against Buffalo. Houston over St. Louis, 20-10 the count there. Washington over Cleveland, 14-7. And, of course, we want to remind everybody, in case you did not hear the story, Billy Martin has been fired as manager of the New York Yankees. Lou Piniella is the new manager. He signs a 1-year contract. And, of course, next Saturday here on CBS, the quest for the crown, a preview of the NBA's 40th season. Then after that, at 2:30 Eastern Time on CBS, it is Iowa against Ohio State. That's next Saturday. I'm Brett Musburger. We hope you've enjoyed the NFL Today on CBS.
Fly the friendly skies of United